Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess of Losi. Pardon me. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the retrogration into like Mercury retro is going retrograde. It stationed retrograde a few days ago. We're a little late. We need to make a lot of changes. I'll lead. I'll start. Let us begin. If anything that is said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. I want to honor you. I want to praise you. I want to thank you. It's truly a privilege to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the pleasure to do so. All the new subscribers, welcome. You belong. Welcome home. And the current subscribers, welcome back. I really appreciate your support, your donations, all of that. All the A1 day one, all the 10 toes down. I see you whispering through, sending emails, things of that nature. It's good to see everybody. I kind of want to get in and fit in here because I already have some energies. I was doing some personal time and the goddess was like, oh, get on that camera. So now the personal message is coming to the public. We'll still do another shuffle. Okay. Let me get these oracle cards out so I'm ready because I'll predict them if I don't. Now, retrogradations. Retrogradations are like audits. Think of it as like an audit. An audit could be a review. Um, it could be anything from a review to you're about to be brought up on charges. Happening to be spiritual charges here. It's not quite like that. It's not a Saturn retrograde. It's not any of the outer planets, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn. It's inner. You know, Mercury goes retrograde 3 to 4 times a year, about every 88 to 90 days. And it typically talks about communication, intellect, reasoning, how we put in place information, data, feedback together in the mind, and how we convey. How we convey emotions, Venus, how we convey thoughts, Mercury. A lot of people talk about phones breaking down, emails breaking down, computers breaking down, whatever, what have you. That's a misnomer. It's a misnomer. It's not completely misguided because the vehicles that we're using to communicate may break down. It's the communication breakdown. However, it's not a breakdown of vehicles. That would be a Venus retrograde. Okay. So, or the mechanics of something, a Mars retrograde. What's breaking down is the ways that we use to communicate because we need to see things. And listen, loosely translated, the Mercury energy is not being filtered right now through the sun. So we stationed retrograde a couple of days ago around the 23rd. It's the 25th right now. But we entered the shadow period on the 8th of August, and it's in the sign. It's in the sign of Virgo. So Mercury actually rules Virgo. It's exalted in Virgo. So this is one of those retrogrades you might not notice, or it might not affect you dramatically or greatly like it does other signs, because we probably need a little bit more Virgo energy, especially since the sun moved into Virgo, especially since we just left that 8-8 portal, especially since there's so many global shifts and changes going on, both physical in terms of climate, whatever, what have you. I'm not one of those who watches all of that. But we also have a lot of truths emerging in the collective societies of the world, whether you're on the pulse and you're noticing it or you're not. There's a lot of big whales, tycoons, people, a lot of money, people, a lot of clout getting pushed out. Some of them are getting ripped over the coals or being sent to jail, prison, whatever, what have you. A lot of other people are just noticing massive shifts in clout. There's a lot of different wealth today, mainly expertise and your name and your currency, your assets, your access to capital. Okay, so there's a shift beginning, and it's a global shift, and it will amount to a wealth transfer. And these don't happen too often. They happen every 50 to 100 years on average. So you may go 200-300 years with things staying status quo, and then twice over the next 50 years, there's massive changes. Like think of the invention of email, what it did to all the industry. Think of the invention of the Gutenberg press. Think about it, what it did to massive industries. Crypto, it's been around for 13 years. That's starting to make some shifts. We can now predict the trending. Okay, there's also what's called the Great Retirement. 1946, between 1964, there were a lot of baby boomers being born. So now all those baby boomers are starting to retire, and a lot of them are selling businesses, transferring their wealth to their descendants, their beneficiaries. There's all these shifts and changes that are happening. And I'm not just talking about that. There's new inventions, several different inventions. Crypto was the first new invention that we saw, but now AI is on the scene. There's been some advancements in the blockchain. If you know what I'm talking about, great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, great. So with crypto and now AI and now this everyday language of narcissism or toxic personality styles, there's a global shift happening, okay? So in Virgo is when we start to notice those things, we start to give them names, labels, okay? And we also start to figure out where we fall. Gemini and Virgo are very similar in their energy, except one deals with the actual skills and one deals with the actual information, how it impacts our day-to-day life. Virgo talks about the skills that you use every day. Gemini talks about the skills that you use every day. Virgo talks about the environment, surrounding location where these skills are used every day. And also it talks about what we're willing to take on. So it doesn't mean our values, or it doesn't mean our standards, we're not willing to take it on. And then with the retrograde, it makes us review, it makes us rethink, it makes us react, it makes us recollect, reconvene, it makes us do the re. And I'm not talking about Rihanna. Blessed be girls working on her second child. I think she just gave birth to her second child. Congratulations. Something Fenty. I'm sorry. I love any last name like that. Fenty, Fendi, don't matter, don't care. You know, Prada, Scara, Dolce & Gabbana, Fendi, Pucci, Armani, Versace, Bergamo, etc. Zegna, etc. I like Italian sounding names. So this is all coming through because I'm being reminded of all the little stars that are being made, that are being casted, that are being born. You know, Rihanna, for me, she's been on the scene for a minute, over a decade, whatever, what have you, but she's a new billionaire. Okay. The Kardashian mama, she's all those other kids, they've been working on their billions for a minute, but even Kristen is her name, this became a billionaire. I know her from way back in the day when I used to be a host for you know, late at night infomercials. Kiddo. So there's this shifting going on, and I'm just, Virgo is one of those pivots where you begin to notice, you begin to give it language, knowledge base, language structure. You begin to understand the components, the moving parts. You begin to understand the first principles, and then you bring that into the realm and bring that into the area of it being how is it according to values? How is it according to discernment? How is it according to truth? How is it according to practicability? How is it according to what you're willing to invest your time, energy, effort, and attention? Those are your real resources. How is it that you're willing to invest your time, energy, effort, and attention into these things, into these concepts, into these ideas? I'm sorry, it seems like everybody walking outside today is fine. I don't know what's going on. But I'm a bit distracted. It's like today is the day when all the pretty babies the goddess made decided to walk by my apartment window. So that's just the thing. The keywords with Virgo is discernment, is value. And a lot of people think Virgos are like full of themselves. They think that they're uppity, that they're bougie, whatever, what have you. Okay, listen, you don't like somebody's standards because you don't meet them. You don't respect their boundaries because you don't like their boundaries because you don't respect them. So if a person's setting a standard and you don't meet it, and you quibbling and quabbling and harping and yodeling and yelling and whatever you, and whining and wailing and all that other crap, that's what it is. You don't make the cut. You don't pass the grade. You ain't this tall to ride this ride. That's just what it is. You need to be about that, or you're never, ever, ever going to get past that, going to get through it. Not ahead of schedule. Okay. So we're leaving a time when there's going to be massive shifts in the collective. We're entering a time when there's going to be massive shifts in the collective, but we're leaving a time when everybody is unaware of certain aspects of society, and it's fundamental things that shift society, like money, currency, access to capital, wealth creation, the titans, the stars, the popular names, those are all going to shift. You know, for over a decade, probably over 15 years, it was Warren Buffett and Bill Gates at the very top of the billionaire list, and now it's the Tesla guy. I don't know his name because I don't care. Okay, so Bezos and Elon, that's his name. Mr. Musk, they're now the baddie, the thotty, the hot to trot, right? And before, for a while, for a long while, for over a decade, it was Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, and the Waltons. Okay. And what I've been seeing right now is those in the know take advantage. It's that idea of being a predator. And yeah, okay, predator can cause harm, and it's really not the root of that word, predator. Predator actually means that you predate the other species and the environment surrounding location. Okay. And then sometimes you're an apex predator, which means you're at the top of the food chart for that ecosystem. There's several apex predators, but you're not going to see a lion cohabitating somewhere where a shark is at. Okay. So there's different ecosystems, there's different environments surrounding locations, but there's also a global arena. Okay. So I'm just telling you this now because when we come out of retrograde, which is about September 15th, we're going to enter into what's called 2 weeks of a post shadow. Okay. So until Mercury enters the degree upon which it went retrograde, there's some things to figure out. So when you have a pre-shadow, it's like preparing. What is the data? What made the system give you an alert? If you're going to audit somebody's taxes, well, what did the computer tell you to audit? Why is the computer even bringing this person's name to you? That's like a pre-shadow. And then during the actual audit, during the actual retrograde, any planet retrograding is an audit of that spirit. Mercury is the spirit of Legba. We also know it as Narada. There's many other spirits, but they're all messenger spirits. They're subordinate spirits, basically, like the personal assistant kind of energy to another god, to a bigger god. Okay, so we need to understand how to negotiate, navigate. That's Mercury. We need to understand how to get in through, move through, pull through things. We need to understand the different language-based knowledge structure. Another word for Legba or Mercury would be Tahuti, Goth. Okay, so that's science, mathematics, law. A little bit of finance, capital structures, I would say, economies, marketplaces. Okay, so there's just shifts going on that we need to step into. And the way to be prepared for that is our discernment. Okay, I've been talking a lot about standards and boundaries. That's much more Aquarius, it's much more anything Venusian, that's much more Libra. But I'm hearing that word, standards and boundaries, but our values are being impacted, our standards are being impacted, our boundaries are being impacted by all this new discernment coming out. We're going to have refined or completely brand new goals soon. We're going to have refined or completely brand new boundaries soon. We're going to have refined or completely brand new standards now. And we've got to get in the game to win the game. We've got to get in to fit in. We've got to plug it and play. And for some of us in the shadow period, we're going to notice that we're being forced forward, we're being forced out there, we're being forced in front of things, we're being forced to deal with things. And before, maybe just in the background, in the periphery, a little bits and pieces of information we're kind of accumulating, we're kind of percolating, we're kind of matriculating. And now it's all going to come rushing through, rushing out, rushing forward, rushing at us. Okay. And that's just what it is, how it is, what we got to do. There's a lot of options, 7 of Cups, but before we had the 2 of Cups. So it was talking about finding something to unify to, finding something to bond to, finding something to collaborate with, finding your place, finding your niche, finding the thing that you love and doing it, okay? Because we're moving into also an expertise economy, because there's a lot of things that could be done by the average idiot. Google, 100 years ago, 500 years ago, there was information you would never be able to access if you weren't in a certain class, if you didn't belong to a certain community. There's lots of information you can access now, unless it's in the Vatican archives. You can pretty much read anything. A lot of things are completely free. Okay, so it wasn't always like that. So we're moving into a different area now where information is readily accessible and available. Expertise is not. And we've been in a gig economy for a while. So now it's going to reset the collective. Up to 10 years ago, you could work for 40 years and then have a pension take care of you for 30 years, and that was all you needed. That, a pension combined with Social Security, you were good to go. I don't know where it is in countries outside of the United States, Think about it today. First of all, children of the younger generation, they will have 3, 4 careers by the time they retire, number one. Number two, they're always going to be doing 2, 3 things at one time. They're never just going to have a ready, steady, regular job. I mean, I know one 23-year-old kid who's a financial analyst, so that's 40 hours a week. But most people that I know that are younger than me, they're doing a couple different things. Even if they're working on a degree, even if they're running a business, they have a couple things. I know many entrepreneurs that also moonlight as an Uber driver or a DoorDash delivery person or whatever, or what have you. So the system has changed a lot. And I'm just getting that this is the time, this is the period, this is the little pivot point. We call it a tipping point, when the global majority has reached awareness so much so that there's massive changes that have been there in the background, slowly increasing. But then enough people catch on where it suddenly quickly increases. This is where we are. This is where we're at. This is what this retrograde is going to bring out. It's going to course correct, force us to recognize, okay? And a lot of us are going to have to get in and fit in. A lot of us are going to have to jump on the bandwagon. All these late or non-adopters are going to become late adopters, slow adopters. And all these early adopters are going to reach the stratosphere. They're going to have a couple extra zeros in their bank account if they position themselves correctly, or they're just going to be put on the map. They're going to be discovered, whether it's Instagram, YouTube. There's a global stage going on right now for personal, individual things, starting with skills, following through with values, ending in beliefs, ideals. And this is where we're going to collaborate, organize, and construct our spaces out of these skills, values, beliefs, okay, ideas. All right. So I don't know if you heard what I said. There was a lot there, because what it is a bubbling up and a boiling over, and whatever's left behind is what's supposed to be there and what's supposed to be used to drive forward into the future. There's a lot of flack being burnt off. I'm noticing, like, you know, in the distilling process, whether it's alcohol or I make kombucha, sometimes there's enough vapors that it can make another liquid. And sometimes you start with like a lot of liquid and you're doing whatever. I also do a lot of like canning and jams and preserves and stuff like that. Sometimes you start with a lot of liquid, and by the time you're done making up whatever you're making, there's a little tiny bit left over. So a lot of it burns off, evaporates out, that kind of thing. And then you're left with this sweet little juice. Yeah, that's the analogy that I'm getting right now. We're going to be deliberating the findings from the Thoth Tarot. Okay. We have the Seven of Cups. The Two of Cups came out earlier. So we have the Tower and the Seven of Cups. So first of all, this is an attack on reality. Now, if it's not an attack, geez, okay, I don't know what's going on, but everybody outside right now is extra beautiful. Man, female, don't matter, don't care. I even saw a fly little old lady come out with this gorgeous blazer, and she stepped out of a G-Wagon, okay? So I do live near the business district, but I'm just shook right now. Everybody is very fancy. Seven of Cups, Tower. That's an attack on reality. The Seven of Cups suggests that what's being put forward isn't true in reality. There's an illusion, confusion, or the risk of slipping back into the swamp. Reality is slipping. There might be a projection, a mirage, an image of some kind that's fake, fictitious, a facade. Okay, not necessarily imposter. That would be more Seven of Swords. But this is just something that's Wizard of Ozzy, kind of like a little tiny man projecting behind this great big speaker box. And when you pull the curtain back, there ain't no nothing, ain't no nothing. Okay, it's that kind of thing. And it's about what we go after, what we ask for, what we want, what we expect, what we hope for. Six of Pentacles. I'm getting that there's the opportunity for us to walk into massive losses or massive gains. So we need to illuminate, enlighten, educate, enumerate ourselves, inform, instruct ourselves on what to go after, what's out there, and what's available to us so that we get a piece of the pie. Three of Cups. I don't know where this is coming from. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't see it in the cards, but that's what I'm getting. That the illusion, delusion, confusion being pumped out, pushed out to the masses, being fed, being spoon-fed to the masses is going to give us a few ideas. It's going to seed some imprinting of ideas, and we're going to need to use that to ask for blessings from the universe. The 5 and the 3 is Pentacles and Cups. It's kind of like asking, because this is getting, when you ask the universe for something and it's granted. 3 of Cups, this is when you need to ask for the universe and make changes in some kind of way, in some kind of shape, in some kind of form. That's the Five of Cups. Now the Six of Pentacles is out here too. Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. So we get whatever we're asking for. Somebody's trying to enter in our soul. They don't like our happiness. It could be an entity, enemy, ideology, energy. They're locked out. Three of Cups, Eight of Cups. They're locked out. They're not getting in. Somebody's trying to access the gate of our soul. They're being told no, and it's happened twice. They're trying to deplete us. It's happened twice. Now, it doesn't need to be a person. It could be that we believe some kind of stupid idea, some kind of stinking thinking. We've been carrying it with us for a while, and it's starting to kick off manifestation results. There's something here karmic to purge, Seven of Wands, especially double down, double confirm with the Nine of Swords. And that's a double Mars energy too. Okay. So we have double Mercury here, Five of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and we have a double Mars here, Nine of Swords, Seven of Wands. So this is telling me that we're in the dark about a lot, and there is some ground to hold. We need to take a position, hold a position. We need to secure a position. Four of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, because things are going to start slipping soon. Six of Wands, we got what we need. I mean, Six of Pentacles, we got what we need. We're cool. We feel enough to get in the game and win the game, or to share. We feel like there's a flow. We're not feeling scarce, but there will be changes to that. If we don't need to make changes, then we'll be stripped of something. Now, it can be stripped of energy. It can be depleting energy, but it also could be fiscal, financial resources. I'm picking that up. I don't know where it's coming from. It's starting to irk me out, because these are not things I like to talk about without being fully aware of the indicators and the leading indicators, lagging indicators, all of that fun stuff, especially coming from a financial background. I just like to have a few bits and pieces of information, a few facts that could be checked independently. But this is all intuition right now, baby. So this means secure your position. Something we need to secure our position. Hold your ground, secure your position. So that's what I'm getting. Because there will be a shift, there will be a change. I'm getting that, and it's in the collective. Two of Pentacles in the collective. Six of Cups is sanctuary, esteemed collective. The Lovers card is the collective, and then the Star card is like the esteemed collective. But the Star card and the Lovers card talk about the collective. Yeah, so we need to take some action. We need to drive forward according to our drive, desires, passions, motivations. Because our life path, spirit, karma, destiny is shifting. And then it's so funny, on the external energy, we have a whole lot of Mars energy. So there is changes being made, and they may even be made against us. This started with an attack on our reality, and then look at all this fighting energy here. I hate to talk about this stuff. I strongly dislike to talk about this antagonistic, menacing, we have the kitty. She just joined us. I don't like to talk about this antagonistic, adversarial, menacing, opposing energy. I don't like to talk about it. No. I don't like it when it's about war or conflict or haterade or things of that nature. But it's coming through, honey. We have the Nine of Swords, the Seven of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. So this is good, because we're able to defend our ground, but it does mean something comes at us, comes for us, comes towards us. And it might be an attack. Nine of Swords can be an attack. So for the other side, they're feeling guilt, they're feeling shame. So somebody could be doing that fancy footwork to make up for something bad that happened or is going to happen. Typically with the Nine of Swords, you're guilty of something. So you kind of got to lessen the consequence, lessen the punishment. You stole some money, put it back before they find out, or you did something wrong, get out of the place where you could be shamed in that environment, you're on location, be on the periphery, or leave, abscond, things of that nature. And then there's a lot of movement here with this Knight of Wands, and then it's true with the Temperance card. The powers that be are going to be pulling strings, pulling levers, using some kind of leverage on the collective. There's a shift coming. And I've been detecting that the shift is really happening in 2024, but like 2 weeks ago, maybe even 1.5 weeks ago, boom, 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 shifts in the collective, shifts in the collective. And I've been hearing money moves and business moves. You don't, if you've been wanting to start a business, start a business. And if you were wanting to get into investing or get into crypto or whatever, what have you, do it. Because you're going to wish you had a year from now. And this is kind of like sideways abstract, but that's the thing also. If the sun is rising every day in the constellation of Virgo and Mercury is moving through the sign of Virgo in retrograde, it means we're auditing our life path, spirit, karma, destiny according to our values and according to our discernments. What are the things we've been missing? What are the things we have not been paying attention to? Or what is the information that we haven't been utilizing? Sometimes it'll also ask why, but that's typically more when it's our duty. So if it's our duty to ask questions, if it's our duty to take advantage of information, if it's our duty to be discerning for the collective, we'll be asked why we haven't been doing it. Others of us will just be told we haven't been doing it, and the universe will be like, oh, you better get up on that. Because you ain't going to like it a year from now. You ain't going to like me. I know you don't like me reminding you right now to get up and get some, but a year from now, you're going to be wishing you had. And you think I don't love you? You think I'm all about getting after you, coming after you, making sure things are displeasing and not easy for you? Okay, wait till you experience a year from today's date. That's kind of the message that I'm getting, so I'm transmitting that to you here right now. Okay, so what I just heard right now, flex in secret right now, but get ready so you don't have to. Get ready so you can stay ready so you don't have to get ready at another time when everybody's going to be rushing towards the finish line. And the finish line moves. People don't realize that. The finish line moves. The glass is not half empty or half full. The glass is refillable. Yeah, okay, we're all racing towards the finish line, but the finish line migrates. It moves. It doesn't just move in terms of what is the finish line, but it moves around the location, the proximate location of the finish line. Moves around. Yeah, being patient with impotency. We've been too patient with doing nothing, and now we need to write a list of the things in our life that aren't working. When I look at my monthly budget, or when I look at my income statement, which is another word for profit and loss because there ain't no income. When I look at where the cash flow is going and what the expenses are and stuff, I have all these ideas about changes that I want to make, not just, where I'm winning and where I'm bleeding. It's the red and the black on that statement, but it's also what do I want to be doing? What are the things I want to incorporate into my practice? What are the things I want to bring into my infrastructure? How do I want to build things out? How do I want to build my business out, my systems out? Sometimes I'm even reminded about decorating my apartment or updating my wardrobe when I go through certain types of financial statements. But that's the business practice of turning your liabilities into assets. So if you're spending a lot of money on XYZ LLP, buy it or make it or cut those costs in some kind of way. And if you're an entrepreneur, if for the last 2 years you've been spending money on this and that, partner up with that business so that it's now an asset for you. Those who needed to hear that would hear that. Others of us will just let it roll off, and it should right now, because really keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, keep your mind clear, not even open, clear, so that ideas can come in. And then get some piece of paper. I use one of those little police pads, those little tiny memo books, the spiral ones sometimes, or like the police that flips up. And they even have those little micro composition books. Keep something where, like, within 5 seconds, you can write it down, because that's the thing too. If you're getting a lot of ideas, you're not acting upon them. Okay, this is too much. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just hot outside and everybody's naked. It's too much. I gotta close the blinds. I'm getting distracted. Maybe it's one of those things where I'm also detecting, like, if you've been receiving a lot of ideas and you're not acting upon them, Mercury retrograde in sign of Virgo will let you know about that. But also, that's why they were telling me to tell you to get a piece of paper, get a little notebook or something, a place where you can write down your ideas. Because, like me, I had a mentor teach me model, not mentor, teach me the 5-second rule, which is not when the food hits the ground, is when an idea comes into your head or when you're reminded of something that you need to do and you don't want to do it or you can't take. I get a lot of ideas in the shower. So I'm always like sliding the curtain over and saying, hey Siri, remind me the XYZ elemental P. But that's how I get my notes out. That's how I get my ideas captured. You've got to do that as well. I have a friend who's like she's like an organizer queen. Like she'll come and organize your pantry or your kitchen or even your desk or your house or your closet or whatever. And she has in her bathroom, she has literally in the shower one of those whiteboards with a little marker next to it. So when ideas come in the shower, she can jot it down. Homegirl's dedicated. Okay. But that's where we are right now. Because over the next few weeks, especially, but months really, until the next retrograde. So we have about 96, 104 days to really, really, really make sure that we're moving into a position where we stay ready. This is not just to get ready. This is do what you need to do what you got to do to ensure that when you do get ready, you stay ready. Not this little sneak back, not this little slide back, not this little candy ass cupcake in it. This is about standing on guard, securing the perimeter, understanding your attack vectors, the threat model on your life, what that is, what that looks like for you and your family, you and your life, you and your legacy, and really head on a swivel. Alert. Okay. And okay, yeah, I'll be honest, it's going to come through the money and it's going to come through opportunities as well. So if you've been wanting to create wealth, if you've been wanting to get out of debt, if you've been wanting to understand skills or where we're going in the future, put it this way, wealth transfer and the currency of the future is going to be skills because robots are going to be doing most things, they're AI. And I might sound crazy, okay? That's fine. This is what I'm being told to tell you. We're dealing with impotency right now, and what we need is strength because we're at a place where we're overcoming adversity and we've just come through some kind of failure. The failure doesn't always mean that we went out for something, we tried for something, and we fell on our face. It could just mean that we started an endeavor, maybe a relationship. I'm sorry, baby. Don't mean to disturb you. We dropped a card. Yeah, self-esteem is really why we're not, because we're around a lot of little weak hoes, especially the people that we're attracting in terms of dating. And listen, a person might seem alive and in charge and all of that and then some, but really if they're a narc, if they're a malignant personality style, it's because they're insecure. So the easiest thing for these people to do is to control other people, but this is also happening on a global scale. Currency is being controlled, opportunities being controlled, there's a class divide, there's some shifting around that coming. And those of you watching, we're being prepared to, because we're being prepared to receive our spiritual inheritance, and a lot of it might come through being of service in the new time. The world as we know it is about to change. It might take about a year from today, but the world as we know it is about to change. So when we're in Sagittarius, which is about where the next retrograde is going to be, we'll know a lot more about these changes. Because Sagittarius sees into the future, see finances, it fell out. So we need to work on these finances, the self-esteem and dealing with impotency. There's a lot of people around us that are aware that we have the light, but they're deceitful about it. They want to use this as an opportunity. They want to use this as a resource. They want to take what we have. They don't want to build with us, but they want to benefit from us. And again, we've had to overcome a lot of adversity. People around us don't really like us, don't really care about us. And that's just the thing. I think the world at large, the people that are outside of our community, the people that are not light workers, that are not working out of the white light, they don't want to see us succeed because they're about to collapse. And so it'll be a reminder of them doing the things, not doing the things they should have been doing. They should have been cleaning up their soul. They should have been walking into joy, abundance, grace, gratitude. They should have been learning how to get saved, get redeemed, to wipe their karmic slate clean. And instead, they were going around doing things in the dark, doing things in secret. And that bill's about to come due. I'm hearing their karmic debt. There's a call on their karmic debt. Yeah, contentment. Okay, so we're now in a space to take advantage of opportunities, and we found what makes us happy, which isn't money. So what I would advise is don't worry about money. Worry about where you can be the most of service. How do you position yourself in a marketplace to help? So let Mama explain. Let your priestess tell you. What is marketing? Marketing is the process of helping people know, like, and trust you. It requires advertising and promotion, which are not the same thing. Promotion doesn't always mean that you're saying, hey, look at me. Hey, I'm in business. Hey, buy my product. You want to attract versus promote. So when you are intentionally promoting, it's actually called advertising. But advertising has set channels of distribution where people can find your product, whether it's TV, radio. I get a lot of new products from YouTube, to be honest. Okay. So what is marketing? Helping the other person know, like, and trust you. All right. What makes a marketplace? This is my point. A marketplace is people have needs, and there's somebody who provides a solution to those needs. So you have people with needs, unmet needs, and you have a solution provider. And when the two get met up, you have what's called commerce, currency exchange, okay? And with this is what creates the marketplace. So if you go a step further, that's marketing 101. Marketing 202 is that somewhere out there, the solution you provide, there are people with needs, and somewhere out there, these people with needs are buying the solution from somebody else. So what are the anographics, psychographics, geographics, demographics that got this person, this potential lead, customer, prospect, client, patient, whatever? How do you get them to buy from you versus a competitor? Okay, so that's what creates a marketplace. So marketing is helping people know, like, and trust you. Okay, and then the marketplace itself means that you provide a solution to somebody's need. People don't know that their soul is about to be flushed down the toilet. That's the truth. The truth, okay? The truth is most people are teetering into darkness. The truth is that most people are 1 or 2 paychecks away from homelessness. It's the same thing on a soul level. The truth is most people are a decision or 2 away from hell. And it's not the decision that they're making. Their sins, their cardinal sins, their venial sins, whatever, what have you. When you sin enough, it degrades your heart. So when you're reverberating darkness and illusion, delusion, confusion, and you're justifying your harm of others, your antagonism towards the greater collective, the greater good, the grand orchestration, the great design, that's the decision that leads you to hell. So that's the truth. Most people are in need of healing, and the large majority are unaware that they need healing, and they only become aware of healing when it physically touches them and they need to go get on a prescription medication. The thing about marketing, and this is marketing 303, it's better to sell a painkiller than it is a vitamin. The nutrition and supplement industry, it's like several billion, okay? But the pharmaceutical industry is over 1 point something trillion. Does that make sense? So marketing 101 is that how to make people know, like, and trust you. Marketing number 2 is how do you get these people that are out there right now with the money to buy your services, how do you get them to buy from you? And 303 is understanding that it's better to sell a painkiller than it is to sell a vitamin. Now, you make your choice. Some people ain't in it for the money, okay? That's the colonizer controller archetype. We'll leave that alone. But the thing about wealth creation is it's not for you. It's property rights is really what you're talking about. And I'm not just talking about houses. I'm not just talking about land. I'm not just talking about cash money, dollar bills. I'm talking about there's a position to take up. There's space to fill. And it's actually abundant. It's nearly unlimited. But that's not what creates economies. That's not what creates commerce. That's not what creates marketplaces. There needs to be some sense of scarcity. And what's scarce right now is being awake, being evolved, being ascended, being activated, living out of the white light. That's what's scarce right now. People embodying what's alive in their soul. Their money's kind of funny. They got a complex occupation. They're doing some fancy footwork to get what they got. And this is really the change that's coming. Does that make sense? So I'm saying we're going to be in a skills and expertise economy pretty soon. Okay. With the invention of AI, it's the only way we could go. Does that make sense? So we've got to become enlightened. We've got to be a source of light, temperance in the collective lovers card, right? And that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm sensing. Let's wrap this up. Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups. So we need to make soul moves. We needed to make moves according to our drive, desires, passion, motivations. That was the Knight of Wands. Now we have the Knight of Cups. So we need to make moves according to our authenticity, our genuineness, our sincerity, who we are, our true nature, and our authentic nature and true purpose. That's what we need to do. You know what song I've been hearing? I gotta sing it because I can't come up. I don't know who sings it. Hold on. Superstar, I'm a superstar. When I walk in the room goes dark. I came to slay, but I'm not playing no way. Just saying A, B, C, D, E, F you want. Okay, so what I'm getting from that is it's two-pronged, it's bifurcated here. We're in a place, an environment, surrounding location, a society, a collective where everybody's looking what everybody else is doing and everybody is counting everybody's blessings and everybody's comparing themselves to everybody else. But it's like in heaven, in paradise, in the Eden, the Garden of Eden, what we compare is your rank and your level of light, meaning how much the seeds that you planted, the legacy you left behind, how much is that growing or being enshrined in the collective? Okay. So like Harriet Tubman, she created a revolution. So you better believe she's very shiny in the afterlife. Does that make sense? Other people are basically, they're not stars, they're asteroids. So they're floating space rock instead of a source energy. Does that make sense? And so we need to do what makes us happy before we do what makes other people happy. And we're going to be unhappy for a while, knowing that we're upsetting other people or we're letting other people down. But it's one of those secure your own oxygen mask if the airplane's going down before you help somebody else secure their own. So girl, get your own bag before you worry about other people and their bag. And their bag is not always cash money dollar bills, but mostly it is. Self-worth, self-value is a bigger currency than a couple extra zeros in a bank account. However, what's going to feed you at night? A couple extra zeros in your bank account is going to feed you, okay? But at night when you're going to bed, you'll probably hate yourself if you didn't do the right thing to get that cash money dollar bill, okay? And certain things, certain people, certain places are going to become obsolete, irrelevant. The goddess is calling forth her enlightened beings, her enlightened souls. And a lot of us are of an opposing mind, or we're having to manage a dichotomy of some kind. There's varying different oppositional ideas. We're considering a lot of oppositional things. We've got to stand in our own self-worth and value. Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. We've got to stand our ground in our own self-worth and value, because there's a choice to make. Two of Wands. We're at a crossroads. Are we going to be the golden goose, or are we going to be sitting there lamenting, wanting, hoping, wishing, praying, conjuring up some wounding, some hurting from the past? Are we going to wipe our slate clean and get that full card and get that strength, courage, and wisdom, that emotional fortitude? Are we going to take a leap forward? Is what we're feeling, what we're wanting, what we're needing to grow as a spirit, to grow as a soul, to go to the Engading, the promised land, the Garden of Eden, paradise? Okay, are we going to slip back into the swamp, that Seven of Cups? Okay, so let's look at the archetypes and then let's pull a galactic card. A, B, C, D, E, F, you want cup of Hennessy and a blunt. Yeah, bully. So there's hoes out there that just are antagonistic, oppositional. They wanting to teach some destructive little concepts. See, we're a queen. We were endowed through birthright with the things that everybody else is destroying themselves, selling their soul to get. Okay, and they're an orphan child. So sometime, okay, they're fallen and forsaken. Sometime in the last 7 generations, one of their ancestors forsook God. They left the Lord. They left service to the Lord. And what happened is they don't have property rights, spiritual property rights. Their bloodline is no longer blessed. They're not highly blessed, favored, chosen, anointed. They are maybe not damned, maybe not cursed, but they ain't getting no nothing. Everything's going to be just a little bit difficult for them. There's some people that will do well at math, but they have to reread their notes and they have to reread every chapter in the book, and they have to, go over their homework twice. And there's some people that are so good at math that it's intuitive. It's almost like a spiritual gift, okay? And then there's people that have a disadvantage for math. There's something, their mind might not work right. The synapses might not be firing. They might be this or that. They might have this, impediment or disability or whatever, what have you. And it makes math very difficult. Okay, so in the scheme of being a soul, incarnated soul upon the earth, there are the blessed, there are the cursed, and then there are everybody in between. There's, out of every 20 people, there's one of them that are blessed, there's one of them that are cursed, and there's 18 that are somewhere in the middle, and we call them embittered to miserly. Embittered is much better than miserly. Miserly is much harder to overcome because it requires belief. Belief is a prayer to God. Okay. Embitterment has to deal more with experience. Miserable has to deal more with state of being. Okay. So embitterment is response to stimuli in the environment. Miserly is the environment you have created. But remember what I said, 18 out of 20 people, what is that? 9 out of 10 people. Okay, so 1 out of 10 people is going to be cursed, 1 out of 10 people is going to be blessed, and 9 out of 10 people is going to be in that spectrum of accidental evil. Okay, we have here bully. In the shadow, it's concealing deep fears, usually behind verbal, hater ass hoe-ish. Sometimes it's physical abuse or whatever, what have you. I'm in the kink community, so that's another something too. They have the bully buddy spectrum. We're not getting into that. And there's nothing wrong with being a bully if you know that you're a bully and you know that it's not appropriate in every space. Okay. Sometimes you're a bully because you're in cells or you're bullish on certain aspects. You're pushing things. You're trying to get things out. See, the thing about bully energy is it needs to get people, it needs to kick up the dust. It needs to get you, I'm hearing the autonomic system. So it needs to get you in your trigger response in order to be effective. And when you're calm, cool, peaceful, collected, it doesn't work. It doesn't work nearly at all, and definitely not as well. There's some energy here about destructive principles from a teacher, and then being vulnerable. There was a victimization here of somebody that should have known better, that should have shown us better. I get this a lot. There's a lot of lessons in my mid-30s that I should have learned in my mid-teens. Okay. And I sometimes I just have to kind of hug myself and be like, baby, nobody told you this when you were younger. It's not your fault. It is your responsibility to do something about it. It's one of those things. There was somebody in our life that should have told us better. We should have learned better. We should have known better. We have the opportunity to get this information. And I'm not detecting that we were hard-headed, because we are the queen, and what we overcame was the servant. So we learned how to surrender to God, and we manifested our own innate birthright of self-worth and value, queen. And it says here, radius cerebral feminine uses her benevolent authority to protect others versus becoming arrogant when you're challenged or controlling and demanding when you're challenged or called out. Okay. So this other side, whether it be an energy, an entity, an enemy, an ideology, they didn't teach us what we needed to learn. I feel information was held back. We were intentionally put in a disadvantaged place. So this might have been an adversarial oppositional connection. Something feels here antagonistic. I feel like we were taught destructive principles, or we were misguided, misled. Maybe we were given disinformation, misinformation, so that we couldn't go after the goal. So we couldn't reach the finish line. So that means that this other person was competing with us, whether they be an energy, an entity, an ideology, an enemy. Okay. They wanted to take us out, take us out of the game, knock us out, knock us over, tear us down, tear us apart. They wanted to cross us out, cross us off. They came for us. They crossed us. So I did see that in the previous Oracle deck, I did see that the lesson we had already overcame, it's in the position of a lesson that we've already learned, and then the next position is the lesson that we're currently learning. So the lesson that we already learned was overcoming adversity, and the lesson that we're learning right now is letting go of betrayal. So people don't they don't mean us well. They don't have the best in store for us. They don't want to see us winning, see us succeeding. They don't want us to surpass them. They're perfectly loving. They're perfectly willing to be all love and light until we surpass them. That's when the true, genuine, authentic hater as hoe comes out. A, B, C, D, E, F, you want. Yeah, so we have this energy of like, don't come for me, don't mess with me, don't step to me, what you want. And it sucks because, listen, as a light worker, as an empath, we're full of love and light, but lately we seem like that Ebenezer Scrooge, bah humbug, what you want? Why you coming at me? I've developed that personally myself, the last 6 months, I have this energy, this stank face attitude. Don't mess with me. Don't talk to me. Don't bother me. I don't care. Unless you come at me with something substantive and compelling right away first sentence, I cannot be bothered. And really what it is you're petitioning me for my time, energy, effort, and attention, and you ain't coming with no nothing. I'm sitting here listening to you. I don't know what your intention is. I don't know what your needs are. And you're rattling and prattling and mumbling about. You're uttering syllables out of your hole in your face, and I still don't know what you need from me. And then I'm supposed to engage this energy to give a fuck about you and your needs when you're not coming and volunteering what these needs are. Oh, goodbye. Okay. When before, me and my little empath self would go all up and through you and read your energy and jump up in your karma with you and be all trying to save you and help you and elevate you and whatever and what have you. No, ho, you want some help? Ask for help. Maybe it's me, maybe it's somebody else, but ask for help. I don't think I'm better than you, so I'm not going to diss you and leave you behind or whatever, what have you. But you need to be trying to keep up, or I am going to leave you behind. A shift. You hear what I'm saying? A shift. Okay. So this person is stuck on stupid. They should have realized, okay, in the past that we were the vehicle for redemption to them. They should have, we evolve at the speed of light and they cannot fathom us. They look at us and see a victim when what they should really see is God's blessing incarnate. We need to summon our badass, okay? Because it really is about giving no fucks. That's really what it is, how it is at the end of the day. That's what it's going to be. It really is about giving no fucks. Because, what you want. I know what I want, a cup of Hennessy and a blunt. What you want. That's what the song is saying. A, B, C, D, E, F, you want. It's called Big Dick Energy, BDE by Queen Herbie. Okay. Herbie is spelled HBERBY. Or no, Herbie, HER, whatever. But Queen is spelled QVEEN, not QU. Okay. We are mediators. So we are just a channel through which things pass through. We're a gatekeeper in some kind of way, and we don't have an agenda. It's not about what we are, what we want, what we like, what we enjoy. Okay. But there's certain things that we can't deal with, we can't tolerate. I can give all the love in the world, but if I'm sitting with a black hole that if you feed it, it will eat you, I can give them all the love in the world. They're not It's not going to help them. It's going to deplete me. At the end of the day, I'm going to be doing all this work and I'm going to be losing more than they're losing. You know, they're eventually going to lose their soul. That's another story, but I won't talk about that. So the lesson we've already overcome is pilgrimage. We came up out of some ordeal. Right now, we're learning to have a gift for being fair and strategic in our personal and professional life, a respect for boundaries and both sides of the argument, a respect for both sides. So that also tells me about compassion, seeing the person for who they are, where they are, what they're about. You know, I can love you and not tolerate you. Okay, I completely accept you, completely accept you and what you are and who you are and what you do, but I might not be able to tolerate you. Okay. You know, the song that's playing in my head, it's saying we're superstars. You know, when I walk in, the room goes dark. Yeah, so we dwarf everybody else in comparison, and see, we're the last one to know this. If we're sitting here thinking that ain't true, that I got it twisted, or what am I talking about, or what, you're not ready. People look at us and they get intimidated. Maybe they don't consciously notice this, okay? But their heart, their soul, their spirit gets confronted with the illness, the dis-ease alive in them, and their inability to stay ready. So that's what we got to do. It is our job. The call is out for us to stay ready, so we ain't got to get ready. That's really what I'm getting, my dear. So they're an artist. They'll make up any little story to get what they want, and they're able to jump in and out of different facades, different illusions, different confusions, whatever, what have you. But really, another thing is they can't fathom us. We evolve at the speed of light. We're beyond their senses, beyond their grasp, beyond their reach, beyond their intellect, reasoning, communication. They cannot fathom us. They lack the sufficient language structure and knowledge base to even be able to identify the authenticity and the truth of what we are and who we are to them. Okay, but they're on and popping them out their mouth and whatever and whatever and whatever and whatever and whatever and what have you. Okay, they're doing their little thing, cursing under their breath, keeping our name in their mouth. They're obsessing about us. Okay, and we don't need to worry about it. And sometimes it's not an actual person. Sometimes it's that the devil's got our number because we're about to come up, we're about to elevate, we're about to receive our blessings, we're about to come into our spiritual inheritance, and the devil just wants to play interference. Satan is the great adversary. Set, as in Egypt, Set, the great enemy. Okay, Bully came back. Bully came back with Engineer and Rescuer. Okay, so this is who we used to be, the lesson we've already learned. The lesson we're learning right now is Engineer. The lesson we're learning with this other person is Bully. And the lesson we're all learning collectively is God. Whew. Yeah, never let a fake hoe step in front of me, but you better let go if you can't take the heat. That's my energy, big energy. Superstar, I'm a superstar. Yeah, so I think what's happening is that we've gone through all the lessons, we've cleansed and purified our karma, we've been going through the tests and the trials and the tribulations, and we're battle ready. We're battle tested, so we're ready on the ready. Maybe in the spiritual, maybe not in the physical. Maybe our money is funny, or we got a complex occupation, or our house is a hot mess, or we're a hot mess, or whatever, or what have you. But our soul has been cleaned out. The trash has been taken out. And we're starting to see it in the physical. People are being, ejected from our life, ejected from our spaces. Since January, you don't know how many strange conflicts I've had when I really am like confused. Like people are hooting and hollering and foaming at the mouth, and I'm like, what did I do? What is it that sets you off? Can you articulate, explain to me what has you so incensed right now? They don't know. It's the demon in them. It really is. Poor babies. I want to save the world. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. But hoes need to want to get off on key. They need to want to learn the lyrics. They need to want to sing. They need to want to harmonize. And not every person wants to do that. Look at the devil. Didn't he want to be separate from everybody else, Lucifer? So he got his wish, but now he rules the dimension nobody wants to go to. Okay, so Mother Earth. Yeah, so the spiritual starting to manifest in the physical is what I'm getting. These cards are hard to see, but this is Mother Earth. And this is by Nadi Anastasia's Cosmic Activation Cards for the Soul. It's 22, so that's a master number. And I've been seeing 22 all day today. I just got a new model, like similar to a mentor. And even in their handle, there's a 22. I'm seeing 22. I feel like it's been a few days. 22 is everywhere. So that's Master Builder. It's also the number 4. So that's also talking about our sovereignty coming from our connection to the grace, to the divine grace. And it's a goddess number. 22 is a goddess number. 11 is a god, like a spirit number. 22 is the universe. Okay, so it's saying that we've enshrined, we've established ourselves in the physical through our spiritual connection. We're a galactic priestess. 22 is what that means. The trees are our lungs, the rivers our circulation, the air our breath, and the earth our body. Deepak Chopra. Affirmation is, I am dissolving into the oneness of all that is. Heart, throat, third eye, and crown chakras. Okay, your heart is open and your intentions are pure. Know that you're being guided and nurtured by the divine grace of the universe herself, known as Mother Earth. She embraces you with her beauty and her wisdom in all that you do, beloved. She reminds you of her flowers, of your light through the illuminating stars, your beauty through her flowers, your sacred knowledge and balance through her trees. Nature guides you in every facet of your life, dear one. If you have picked this card, Mother Earth calls out to you now in love, Earth Guardian. You are being called to assist humanity in remembering its divine connection to nature. Now is the time to express and share your creativity and your wisdom even further. It is through the sharing of your love and talent that others will be inspired to journey into deeper realms within themselves. Transformation and the healing of the earth starts within every human being. The earth simply reflects our inner state. We are all part of that one consciousness, expressing it in many forms. When we die, our bodies dissolve into the earth, which then nourishes the soil, which feeds the trees and the plants, forever weaving, never adding, never subtracting in this cosmic connected dance of life. If humanity can focus on healing and nurturing the wounds within them, the earth will come to reflect the high vibrational energy and light. Your work, Earth Guardian, is to assist others to remember their true divine selves and reconnect to the natural world. Do what you came here to do. Shine your light, walk your walk, and do all this with continued truth and integrity. I'm dissolving into oneness of all that is. So I feel like we're a fractured society and we're stepping into oneness as a collective. The illusion, delusion, confusion can't hide in the shadows anymore. And we can't do that code switching or that cognitive dissonance where we're looking at a problem, but we're calling it by another name because we have some desire to love a person or give them compassion or the benefit of the doubt or whatever or what have you. A spade is a spade. A tree is a tree. A malignant toxic fuck is a malignant toxic fuck. And that's just what it is what it's going to be at the end of the day. And we can call it whatever, what have you, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, if you get a piece of shit and you spray cover it in gold, you spray paint it gold, it's still a piece of shit. Okay, that's just what that be. Okay, I gotta say it like that. All right. But Mother Earth here was the card, and this is on the grounds of cutie. This is on the grounds of free spirit, let go. Okay, and walk your truth, intuition. Okay, so what I'm getting is that other people are shrouded in darkness. They're holding on to some wounding from the past. People are living in the past and we're living in the future. It's true because we found emotional fortitude, okay? Strength, courage, and wisdom. And it also is saying that our slate has been wiped clean. So we've purged whatever karma we had. See, most people don't know what they want. Most people don't know who they are, let alone what they want. She's shadow self, worlds within worlds. See, they are spirit, a portal to the divine, but they're living in a shadow self. You see that? So all they see is red when really there's yellow, there's green, there's blue, there's purple, there's orange. I'm hearing that, aranje. Well, in Italian, it's arance. Okay, well, what is orange? Orange is your place in this world, feeling safe in your own self. Red is feeling safe in the physical environment. Orange is feeling safe in your own self. That second chakra, it means your seat in this world. That's really what it translates to. And if you're not safe and secure in the body, if you can't give yourself love, you're not going to receive it from other people. And you're going to spiral downwards towards red because you're going to think that this is a scarcity thing and that you're impoverished and that you need to fight for your survival. Okay. But that's all ego. It means you're not in your awakened self, you're in your ego. Yeah, emotions, compassion. I think self-compassion is really what it is here. Cutie. Okay, and then strength. Didn't I say strength, courage, and wisdom? I've been talking a while. Let me go, honey. It's been an honor and pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. This is going to be about walking our truth here. All right. This Mercury video. Okay. Take good care, honey. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, girl. Come on. Come on. You got to move. Come on, sweetie. Thank you. Oh, take good care. Bye.